Hello everyone, my name is Megan Ballingy and I am a librarian at Heartland Community College Library, and this video is Academic Search Complete Advanced Searching for Articles. We'll start on the home page, click on Research, click on Article Databases, and then click on Academic Search Complete. I'm going to use the same search that I did in the Academic Search Complete Basics, so if you're following along from that, this will look familiar. I'm going to search sustainability or sustainable or eco-friendly, actually. Okay, or green or environmental. I want that whole set of keywords. That is going to tell this search engine that I want any of these words included in my search, and I'm going to put in airport and we'll search with those two sets of phrases. So I want to find anything that has to do with sustainability and airports. So this could include fuel emissions, recycling, any green efforts, anything eco-friendly. So if I want to get more specific, I can add more search terms. So I'm going to add recycling and search. Okay, so for recycling, we're finding some search results that have to do with composting, just in general environmental footprint reductions, waste food recycling. This article is about the San Diego International Airport and doing that. And let's see, what I'm going to do is filter my search results on the left-hand side. I only have 24 search results, which is good. I don't have to look through a ton of them. Looks like 9 are peer-reviewed. Let's look at this article, Accelerating Environmental Footprint Reductions at the Hong Kong International Airport. If I click on that article, I can see more information about this article now. There are some images. These are the authors. The source, this is where this was published, Journal of Airport Management. And now here is some more information that may be useful when you're searching, using your search terms up here. This article has a list of subject terms, and it also has author-supplied keywords. These are incredibly helpful if you wanted to take out a keyword that you've included up above and try one of these instead. Or you could basically rebuild your search, kind of start over, and search some of these terms. I use sustainability, sustainable, eco-friendly, green, and airport and recycling. But you can see in this article, we also have some author-supplied keywords: aircraft cabin waste, carbon emissions, environmental footprint reduction, food waste management. Maybe some of those search terms are going to find more articles about recycling or green initiatives at airports. And this is something that can be challenging when you're searching any of our library databases. You have to have the right keywords and the right combination of those keywords sometimes in order to find the articles that you're looking for. I know everyone has tried out search terms and then not been able to find what they're looking for their research. And it's often because you've maybe missed a term or you're not using a term that perhaps the author is also using. So we can try out, let's see. Let's try aircraft cabin waste. And just see if we get anything back. And I'm going to just take out this term airport and see what kind of search results we get. Okay, we have 3 search results. Of course, this is already an article that we got, and I saw this one in the other list as well. I'm not sure if this one was also there. So that one, for example, didn't bring back anything more than we already found, which is okay. But sometimes when you do search, you may find more search results. And this is also a place to look if you are searching and you're not quite sure what terms to search. Maybe we're actually going to not focus on recycling, and maybe you want to focus more on emissions or carbon emissions. Let's try that. Now you can see that my search results are focused on sustainability in airports and carbon emissions, not on recycling, food waste, or any of those topics. So by changing some of our search terms, we're obviously going to change some of our search results. I also saw when I was putting in this carbon emissions keyword phrase, I also saw climate change or carbon footprint. Click on that one. Just by including that search term, those extra search terms, I don't know if you saw that this went up by maybe 20 or so. Let me see if I can go back. Okay. Oh, by more than that. Okay. With this search, with the carbon emissions, right here, 37 results. But if I go back and I choose this search term phrase, carbon emissions or climate change or carbon footprint, so we're adding climate change and carbon footprint and clicking search, now my search results have gone up to 93. So you can see that if you are missing some search terms, or if you're just using one search term, you're not going to get as many results. That would be the same also if I had just typed in sustainability and not used these other search terms. I will probably not get as many search results as I did when I searched all of these. So keep in mind also that when you're searching, this is just trial and error. As you take a look through your search results, you can use them, just like I did before, by looking at author-supplied keywords and then also subject terms or any other terminology that you see within the abstract. Of course, that's the summary of the article, or anywhere else when you are doing your research. I didn't talk much about subject terms, so here's more information about that. Now, keywords, that's very specific, right? We are searching keywords we want to see in articles. When we're talking about subject terms, these can be more broad. So if you're just talking about clean energy, that could include clean energy at airports, but also clean energy in homes, businesses, maybe talking about like wind power, solar power, lots of things. But some of these, the subject terms may give you ideas on what to search for. For example, maybe you wanted to try to find any airports that had solar energy. So I'm actually going to take this top one out. And I think let's just try solar energy and airport. All right, so we do have at least this first one. An airport in Australia is using solar power technology. So this is a way that you can use your search results to go back to your initial keywords in search and search other terms. If this seems confusing, or if at some point you lose track of your search terms, that's totally okay. That happens a lot, especially once you get started and you kind of get confused at which terms do you enter and how many times do you go back and forth and try different terminology. Right under these empty boxes here is search history. If I click that, right now, just during this, this tutorial, I searched 8 different searches. This is an awesome tool for you to use, your search history, to take a look. Maybe the solar energy and airport is not what you wanted to focus on. You can click back and go back to maybe this 4th one where we just talked about aircraft cabin waste. You can also see all of the search options. Remember, I searched full text, scholarly, and if I changed any of the dates, you can go back to those search results. And this is also a great way to keep track of what you're searching. Maybe you think you put in a search term to search in the keywords, but you actually hadn't tried that before. This is where you can keep track of it. So to show you how this works, this first search, I'm just going to click on View Results. This is going to take us back to that original search before I changed anything else. Okay, so we looked, and I'm going to just change this to 2015. So we're looking at these dates. And I'm going to, let's look at this article, Airport Buildings, a Key Opportunity for Sustainability in Aviation. Here is another way to do some advanced searching. I'm going to click on the PDF to take a look at the full text of this article. And what we're going to do is scroll to their references or works cited, depending on how the citation style that they used. This is what we call citation chasing. So these are citations for other materials that this author used to write their paper or their report or their article. There may be articles that they use that you might also want to use in your research. Often these are going to be very similar because of the subject matter. So you can just kind of skim through. Sometimes, like these, they are hyperlinked. So I'm going to click and open one of these. I'm going to click this one so that you can see. So this links straight to, let's see, ICAO, part of, oops, United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. So this is directly related to airport transportation. Click back here. But this is a way that you can look at this person's research and see if any of these materials or articles will also work for your research. If these are not hyperlinked, you can also copy the title of an article like this, and then go back to your search results and clear out these boxes and search for that article. That is the way to do some citation chasing, which is super helpful when you are looking for research and maybe you find one really good article, but you're not finding a lot of other materials. Take a look at the references. On this page, I want to point out that you also have some tools on the right-hand side. Of course, your Cite button. This is citation format generators. We have APA citation style, MLA citation style. You can copy and paste these into your works cited or your reference area of your papers. Always double check these because there are often errors. I can see in this citation, these names should not be all capitals. So you always want to double check when you're pasting those into your papers. Also, right below the citation is a permalink. And this is the permanent link to the article. The reason this permalink is important to talk about is if you were going to save this to try to come back to this article later, let's just say you're running, short on time and you hadn't saved the citation, you're just going to save the link. This is the permalink to use. Never use the URL that's at the top of the page because that is an unstable link and it will not work after some time. So always use a permalink. You can save email, print, you can save materials to your Google Drive. My tip is to just have an email open or open a doc in your Google Docs or a Word document and just keep track as you go along. If anything that you are looking at seems like you might want to use it, you're not sure, just save it and keep track of it. Maybe you want to just open a file folder and just bring the PDFs in and then save the citations into a document, just so you have everything together. And I'm saying this from experience. You don't want to have written your paper or done your whole assignment and then you can't find the citation for materials. That can be really challenging to be able to go back and try to find things. So save them as you go along. You'll save a lot of time. All right, and if you need any help from us at the library, you can always go to our homepage and you can chat with a librarian, come and see us in person, and we'll help you out.